Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Let us begin part 3 of this presentation titled Full Body Nourishment, Physical, Emotional, and Mental Health. Now, providing the tools and system to nourish your body is the easy part, but the health problems of this nation and our world are mostly caused by deeper issues. It is important to understand the psychology behind these issues. What is causing the emotional stress in our lives? How can we work to eliminate this stress? Many times, if someone begins to gain weight, it is usually caused by some type of emotional stress in their life. For many, it could be problems in a relationship or finances. As I stated earlier, I believe the driving forces in our lives are the desire to avoid pain and the desire to gain pleasure. If someone is feeling the pain of a troubled relationship or feeling the pain of not having enough money and bills are mounting up, many times they navigate to eating foods that give them pleasure. This temporarily puts them in a state of pleasure in an attempt to replace the perceived pain they are feeling. This is also why so many people resort to drugs and alcohol and cigarettes. Do drugs and alcohol change your state? Absolutely, you better believe it. Drugs immediately eliminate pain and create instant pleasure. Cocaine is a $31 billion industry in the US alone. Americans spend more on cocaine than they do on airline tickets and home utilities. How come this industry is so effective? Is it because they have such great salespeople? Of course not. It is the desire to alleviate the emotional stress in people's lives by avoiding or detaching from pain and temporarily replacing it with perceived pleasure. So, if this is true, then why isn't everyone on cocaine? I'll tell you why. It is because some people link massive pain with the thought of using cocaine, the pain of being out of control, the pain of being addicted, the pain of doing something illegal, the pain of wasting money and potentially ruining their life. You see, it is all based upon what we link or associate pain and pleasure to. Did cigarettes taste good the first time someone tried them? I seriously doubt it. So why do so many people smoke these little tobacco sticks that stink and have been proven to kill you? The cigarette companies and marketing firms know that many humans can be easily swayed to do anything by repeatedly associating any product with what they desire. Cigarettes were repeatedly associated through advertising with being cool and independent, confident, and sexy. Right, like the cigarette smell on someone's breath is sexy. Then, people become addicted enough where they feel that the cigarette actually relaxes them. Ironically, it's not the cigarette smoke that is relaxing. It is the fact that when they smoke, they are taking deep, controlled breaths. Why not try that without the cigarette smoke? There's a novel concept. Here's a question for everyone. Can you get somebody to do something that is physically destructive, physically harmful, by simply convincing their brain to associate great pleasure to it? Absolutely you can. How about a suicide bomber? Here is someone that is willing to take an action that is both physically and emotionally painful, like exploding their body into pieces, while killing innocent adults and children, because in their mind they associate more pleasure with doing so than not doing so. How can our minds be convinced to take such despicable action? They are brainwashed into feeling that dying will bring them ultimate pleasure, honor to their family, honor to their country. They will go to a place that is much better than here, where there is ultimate pleasure. Didn't kamikaze pilots in World War II do the same thing? Absolutely. The mind can be trained to do anything, positive or negative. The associations to pleasure and pain control our actions and decisions. Unfortunately, most people do not consciously think about what we associate pain and pleasure to. Thus, many of our lives are constantly in reaction versus control. We need to use pain and pleasure instead of having pain and pleasure use us. You do that and you are in control of your life. You don't do that and your life controls you. To use pain and pleasure to our advantage, we begin by understanding that our reality is simply what we are currently focused on. Our reality is our current perception of the world around us. Interestingly, many people can live in the same environment and have many different perceptions of reality. Your perception controls your reality. Visalis Systems assists clients in helping them create productive associations of pain and pleasure to accomplish their goals. Most people have no success or temporary success on a diet because they associate massive pain with dieting, with giving up something that they love. They are focused on something being taken away, of losing something. I mean, what are the first three letters in the word diet? That's right, they feel as if they're dying. If a client wants to lose weight, we want them to focus on the pain of not losing the weight. What is the emotional price? What will it cost me in my relationship with my husband or wife or other important people in my life? What will not losing the weight cost me emotionally, physically, spiritually, and financially? What will you be like in 2, 3, 5 years from now? Will your joints ache? Will you develop some of the chronic illnesses we discussed earlier? Will these illnesses affect your relationship with your family? Will they affect your daily actions? Get emotional about it. Emotions drive us, not our intellect, obviously. Then we want clients to focus on the absolute pleasure they gain from losing the weight. I'll gain a feeling of being in control of my life again. I'll regain my self-confidence. I'll gain back my physical energy and health. I'll gain stronger personal relationship with my family and those around me. I'll develop more willpower to improve other areas of my life. We want them to look at the impact presently and long term, 2, 3, 5 years from now. You see, your mind is incredibly powerful, and probably far more powerful than we will ever know. If we can learn to control and direct the focus of our mind, we can create tremendous power and opportunity. There are only so many things we can consciously focus on, so most of us ignore most of what is going on around us at any given time. The result and price we pay is that we walk around believing our experience of the world is how the world is. Again, our perception of reality is our reality, and it is different for everyone. So, how do we change our perception of the world around us? Our perception of our day-to-day routine? Our perception of what is possible to accomplish and obtain? We feel that changing your reality starts with asking yourself questions that empower you, not questions that bring you down. Your brain is like some supercomputer that we fully do not understand. You can ask your brain anything and it will give you an answer. It will even make up something to produce an answer, regardless if it is true or not. The questions you ask yourself determine how you feel. If you constantly ask yourself, why am I overweight? Your brain will constantly produce all the negative reasons why you are overweight. And this is what you will focus on. Why do things always happen to me? Why can't I make more money? Why do my relationships always fail? You see, why questions get you nowhere. Conversely, if you ask yourself, how can I lose weight and have fun doing it? Your brain will begin to focus on how you can do it versus why you can't do it. Make sense? Hey, in order to feel unhappy, you have to focus on all the unhappy things in your life. It takes work to be unhappy. Some of the greatest communicators and teachers of all time didn't just tell us things. They asked us questions and got us to use our own resources. Martin Luther King asked questions about a dream and a vision. John F. Kennedy stated, "Don't ask what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country." He wanted us to use our own resources and contribute to the strength of this country. Visalis Systems teach clients and their representatives to ask themselves habitual empowering questions every day so they become the change they want to see. How can I lose weight and have fun doing it? What can I do today to change another person's life? What can I do today to make a breakthrough in my business? I wonder what I'll see today that I haven't seen before. How can I connect with family members and friends more? How can I be happier than I've ever been? Listen, advertisers are paid millions and millions of dollars each year to direct you. Learn to advertise in your own mind and direct yourself. In everything we think or do, those actions will have an effect in your life. It may be small, but there is an effect. You have probably heard, For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction, or result. And for every result, you begin to create a direction. And with every direction you take, there is an ultimate destiny. The time to design your next 20 years is now. Not 20 years from now when you say, I wish I would have or I should have. People that have success develop a reason to do so. It doesn't matter if it is success in your relationships, your finances, or in trying to lose weight. People that have success develop a reason to do so. People that don't enjoy success have developed reasons not to. For example, if you need to stop overeating, to have success, you must condition your mind over and over again to associate stop overeating does not equal losing something. Stop overeating equals freeing yourself, liberation, happiness. You must continue to condition yourself over and over again, week after week, until you become the change you want to see. Same principle applies with exercise. You can't change by just going to the gym once. Visalis Systems helps all clients grasp the power and necessity of understanding and applying the psychology needed to make dramatic changes in their lifestyle. We also feel it is crucial to not only be aware of your mental state, but also your physical state. I have a question for you. If you force yourself to smile, how do you feel? Your whole emotional state changes instantly. Try it. Why do many people walk or drive around looking like they are frustrated or depressed? Why aren't people smiling constantly? Many people have habitual facial expressions that are constantly creating negative emotions. Seriously, look at the people driving by you. Look at their facial expressions, their body posture. Any expression can instantly change how you feel. There was a study done at the University of California, San Francisco on manic depressants. I mean, these are people who are so depressed that they constantly need drugs just to feel decent. Repeatedly, they asked this group of manic depressants to smile. Not one of them wasn't happy while smiling. In fact, some of the so-called manic depressants felt so empowered that they began smiling for 20 minutes straight and really made some breakthroughs in their state. The Visalis system knows that your physical state, your facial expressions, your posture, the way you walk, all contribute to your emotional state. We create systems to remind our clients and representatives to be aware of their physical state so they have optimal ability to accomplish their goals. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes part 3 of our presentation. We will continue this discussion in part 4 and begin by sharing the incredible power of effective goal setting and why most people take goals for granted. Until then, live with passion.